Cut it low?
Yeah.
Not too low though, keep it a little dark.
Yeah.
Touches on the sides and the back.
Yeah.
Keep the beard full.
What's going on, y'all? I'm back with another banger video for y'all. So, as you've seen in the intro, today we doing 2 with the grain with mid tapers. So right now, I'm just picking everything out, right? Stretching the hair to its full capacity, so that way when I come with the guard, everything glides straight through just like it's supposed to. So here, I'm gonna start off with a 3. Me personally, I like to start off a little bit higher just to ensure the perfect length or the desired length for the client. Sometimes they want it a little bit darker, so I'm going in with a 3. I tell people all the time, I can take it off, but I can't put it back on. So nice clean strokes, man. Complete strokes too, man. Taking it simple, taking it as slow as possible. Obviously it looks fast because it's sped up, but yeah. So here I'm going in with the 2. Now if you can tell, my client has a cowlick in the front, so with this 2 guard, I am not going all the way to the front of his lineup, right? I'm going to about where the cowlick starts in the front, and I'm stopping there. Now you're gonna see how I'm going to blend that cowlick into the rest of the length, but for everywhere else, we're doing that full 2. Yeah, man, just keeping it simple, bro. So here, now, this is a better angle, you can really see it. So now, I'm coming in with the 3 guard, right? That same 3 I had on at first. And now, I'm just attacking that. You have to remember, so with cowlicks, they grow in a different direction. So as you can see, it grows to the right, to the left, and back, right? So technically, this is against the grain. So whenever you're doing anything against the grain, you want to use a bigger guard, right? So that way it can match the smaller guard. So now, I'm just doing a taper prep, right? So what the taper prep is, I'm going to line up the areas I'm about to do my tapers for, and that's going to help prepare for when it comes to me doing those tapers. Now remember, whenever you put a lining on anything, it's going to make that taper stand out. So to start the taper off, we going with no guard all the way open. So as you can see, when I did my taper prep, I had already did my ball line. So remember that going into it, right? I start off with my clippers with the ball line. So here, after I go completely open with the no guard, I go halfway, then I go all the way closed, and then I go about 3/4, which would be in between the all the way open and the halfway. Here, I'm gonna go with that 1 guard completely closed, going up about a finger's width, right, 1/2 inch. And I'm just keeping it consistent, man. Slow strokes, multiple strokes to make sure everything is that one desired rim. Now I'm going in with the 1/2 guard completely open. Now you can see I am only using the corner of my blade, right? Those last 2 teeth. Then I'm going to drop it halfway. Do the same thing. Those corners, man. I'm not using the entire blade. You don't want to push everything up. You want to blend in between. There, I'm all the way closed. And then I'm going to open it 3/4 in between the all the way open and the halfway. Again, I'm using the corners, right? This is part of the blading technique. Oh, the blending, my apologies. Now I'm gonna come in with my 2 guard closed, right? At the top of that blend. Now remember, I laid everything down with a 2 guard open. So now I'm coming back in with that 2 closed. It's not gonna take it completely out, but it is gonna soften it up, right? Make sure you get behind the ear, man. A lot of that times when you do tapers and you don't do behind the ear, the blend looks choppy. Now I'm coming in with that 1.5 completely open. Again, using the corners. When I am blending, I am using my corners, right? It helps you get in between those hairs, knock everything down, right? And that's technically what a blend is, right? You're getting in between the hairs and you're softening it up, right? You're cutting in between it. Now I'm gonna turn it around and go 1.5 with the grain, right? It's just gonna lay it down, man. I just want to make sure that everything is laid down. Now y'all notice I'm pulling the ear back. I'm getting behind that ear, man. I promise you that is very important. But we just keeping it consistent, man. We taking our time. And now it's time to do detail work. Come back with your 1 guard all the way open. Use those corners, man. Drop it 1 notch, man, and just get in there and blend, right? Get in there and work on it. Take a second, turn around, look away, go look at the mirror, do something, right? The mirror is going to show you your imperfections. Please don't play it. Please don't pay attention to my elbow, okay? I get it. I know. I put lotion on. It didn't work right. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna worry about that. Now this technique right here is called the raking method, right? It's when you flip the clipper over and you kind of go down in like a clawing motion, like a raking motion. Now here, I'm still doing more detail work. I noticed I could come back in with that tool to soften that bulk up at the top a little bit more. So that's exactly what I did, right? When you're doing details, you're going back every part in your step that you think you need to go to, and you're gonna make it work.
This is a Hypebeats production.
Yeah, man, just take your time when you're doing this, and please use those corners, right? Do not use the entire blade. Using the entire blade will push the fade up higher than you want it to go, right? So just stay consistent with it, right? Man, and look, I'm just constantly going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the different guards, right? I was using the 1.5, now I'm using the 1. I started with the 1, then I went to the 2. So, you know, just in those areas that you think you need to use whatever guard you use, and that's why it's so important to learn your steps when it comes to your blend, right? When it comes to your fading technique. Once you get it down pat, man, you will never be lost, right? And now I'm just going back in with some on-liners. Tap at the back of the beard because I'm about to fade the tip of the beard. So it's the same, right? But the only difference is you're fading down, right? So you're doing the same steps, but you're just fading down. Just take your time with it, man, and be consistent with it, right? Everything is going to come into place the same way as that taper, right? So I'm going to let y'all sit and watch this for a second. I'm going to be right back. So now we're getting into the back taper. Again, the steps are going to be exactly the same. So here, I'm starting off with my ball line, right? And then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna do the same steps, right? Nice even strokes, make sure everything is clean. Now I'm coming in with the no guard open, going up about a finger's width, right? Keeping everything consistent. Y'all see when I get to the top of that, I'm kind of scooping out. The reason you scoop out is it kind of feathers it, lightens the top up a little bit. So when it comes to the blending technique, right, everything is just going to flow. Here, one guard closed, right? Fingers width. Same exact steps. I cannot stress that enough, right? Same steps, man. It is going to help you with your repetition, right? The more you do things, the better you get at it, right? Or the easier it gets. So just follow your same technique, man, and everything is gonna flow the way it's supposed to flow. Going in with that half guard, completely open, taking that bottom line out, right? Completely open is not going to take it out. It's going to soften it up. Now, so here in the back, I have a little bit more space to be able to use more of the blade. But essentially, I'm still only using 1/2 of the blade, right? I don't need to use the entire blade. Then I'm coming with the 2 guard completely open. Again, remember, we use the 2 guard open to lay the hair down. So coming with that 2 guard is not going to do anything but soften everything up to set it up for your next steps. Here, I'm going with the 2 guard with the grain, laying everything back down. And then I'm gonna come in with the 1.5, right? Softening it up. This 1.5 open is not gonna take it completely out, but it's going to soften it enough so when I go halfway and all the way close, it's going to take it out. But again, I'm using the corners. Remember, when blending, you want to use the corners of your blade. When you are setting in your sections or your primary lines, that's when you use the entirety of the blade. And then after this, I'm gonna get into some more detail work, right? Detail work is going to separate you from being a normal barber, right? Being a typical barber. Some people can get in and they may not have to do as much detail work, but doing that detail work, man, your clients will appreciate it, right? They will feel like, oh, this person cares about the way I look. This person cares about their work right there. A perfectionist or whatever the case may be, right? So do your detail work, man. I'm gonna sit back and let y'all watch this detail work. So now we getting into the other side. You're gonna do the same exact steps. So this side, I just got it sped up, right? Because we done did the same steps for one side and the back already. So now we can sit and we can talk a little bit, man. Hey, how everybody feeling, man? What everybody got going on? I know sometimes life be lifing, but yeah, we just gotta push through it, right? Always remember, everything that you go through is not a coincidence, it's for a reason. It's something that you gotta learn. Is preparing you for whatever it is that you pray for, right? So you have to go through things in order to learn the things that's necessary for you to get to the next level that you want to be at, right? So when you're going through that storm, man, I always remember those things, right? It ain't gonna last forever, but it's preparing you for whatever it is that you ask for, whatever it is that you need to be ready for. So embrace it, enjoy it. Didn't know already, shout out to my brother Hype Beats Productions for this beat. If you need any beats or you're looking for any production, please hit him up. I'm gonna drop all this information in the description below. Man, that back tape will look crazy. Now you prepping for the lineup, right? So I'm coming in with like a 1.5, but now remember, he has a cowlick in the front. So I'm only knocking down literally like the edge of the lineup. Now I'm coming in with my hot towel and my shaving cream. Y'all know how I get when it gets to that, right? It's just setting us up for that kill shot. It's setting us up for that lineup, right? Man, so I'm just getting in my bag, bro. I'm gonna lay him back. I got that hot towel, and y'all know what time it is. We're gonna put it on his head. We're gonna let him sit and relax for a moment, and then we're gonna get into that work. When you're doing the hot towels, you always want to make sure you ask your client, is it hot? Is it too hot, right? Are they okay? Is that enough for them, right? Another way is to test it by using the insides of your forearm, right? It'll tell you the exact temperature of it. So then I just use holding spritz. You know, I use Got to Be blow dry to set it, and now we get into that pre-liner. Again, my pre-linings are, I'm using a pair of liners that are not zero gap, right? It is not all the way pulled forward, so that way it is more of a softer lineup, right? No, you still want to be gentle. You don't want to be rough with the trimmers, right? Even though they aren't completely set to zero gap, they still can irritate the skin. They still can cut a person. So you still want to be gentle. But this is just going to set everything up right. It's going to give it a nice foundation, a nice base. Y'all know I like to start in the middle. I use my reference points, right? I work my way from the middle to one side. Everything I do on one side, I do on the opposite side, right? So that's how I'm handling that. Now we coming in with the enhancements. Yes, I'm using fibers here. Y'all know how I like to do my fibers. I like to spray them at the forehead so they can kind of mist onto the lineup to give it more of a natural look, right? I don't like to use an enhancement card when I'm using fibers. Now, if I'm using an actual enhancement spray, then I'm using a card because the spray is meant to stain the skin. Now I'm going to come in with my actual hitters, and then we're going to finish this lineup up, right? You still want to be gentle, right? Yeah, just keep it as consistent as possible, bro, and just take your time with it. You already set your baseline, so now you're just going back over it. You're doing the same steps. You starting in the middle, going from the middle to one side, One thing you do on one side, you do on the opposite side, right? And you just stay consistent. Look at that. Now we're gonna clean all that residue up with some razor work, right? Laying the razor on the skin at a 45-degree angle, using your opposite hand to pull the skin, creating tension, right? So that way you don't cut, you don't nick, you don't irritate the skin, right? You're letting the razor glide when you lay it at a 45-degree angle as opposed to directly onto the skin. Don't stress about it, just stay consistent. Take your time while doing this. So now I'm gonna let y'all watch me get into this beard work, man. So y'all just enjoy what y'all see real quick. When getting into the lining of the beard, y'all know I prefer to use a razor to line the top of the beard up. I don't like to use trimmers. The only reason I will use trimmers on the beard is to knock away the little flyaway hairs right at the top of the beard that sometimes the razor can't get. So that's what I will use that for. But I prefer to use the razor. You want to go over it multiple times, right? Just to ensure that that line is completely there. Now I'm going to pick everything out. And then I'm going to use my trimmers to knock those flyaways away and get the bottom of the neck. When you get in the bottom of the neck, you always want to use your opposite hand to stretch the skin to create a little bit of tension so that way you don't cut or irritate the bottom of the neck. It is a very sensitive area of the body, right? You just stay consistent with it though, right? You just use your trimmers to knock those little hairs away. Take your time with doing it. It's kind of like sculpting a beard, right? Or shaping a beard, however you want to look at it. It's technically the same thing.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.